Welcome back, everyone, to Dr. Burns' TOEFL show. Today, we have another Build a Sentence practice. Now that we've covered the basic grammar, it's time to build speed. I'll show you how to move faster by recognizing the usual suspects, word combinations that typically go together. We'll use the same prompt sentence. I bought a new dress. From this prompt, we'll create different kinds of questions that respond to that situation. We have 10 questions that use various grammar concepts to help you solidify your grammar skills. Okay, let's dig in. Question 1.
Notice what did. This tells us it is a WH question in the past tense, so the verb must appear as did plus by. The possible subject candidates are the nouns and pronouns occasion, what, you, it. The verb is buy. Among these words, the only one that can logically buy something is you, so the subject must be you. So we start with you buy. Next, we determine the object of buy. The possible objects are occasion, it, or what. To decide, we check the conversation. The prompt says, I bought a new dress. This means we already know the thing that was bought, the dress. Therefore, the object of buy should be it. So we now have, you buy it. The remaining words are occasion, for, and what. So what and occasion must be the object of for. What can be a pronoun or a determiner. In this case, it functions as a determiner modifying occasion. So we get the phrase, for what occasion. The basic structure becomes, you buy it for what occasion. Since this is a WH question, and the WH word is the object of a preposition, we move the whole prepositional phrase to the front and use auxiliary inversion with did. Final question, for what occasion did you buy it? We start by noticing the words where and did, which tell us that this is a WH question in the past tense. The only verb in the set of words is find, so the subject must be the person performing the action, you. This gives us the basic structure, you found. Next, we ask, found what? The object is dress, a singular countable noun, so it needs a determiner. A dress. To emphasize it, we use the fixed expression such a. The adjective nice comes after such a and before dress, forming the full noun phrase, such a nice dress. At this point, the phrase is, you found such a nice dress. Where is an adverb, so it moves to the front of the sentence in a WH question, and we use auxiliary inversion with did. Putting it all together, we get the complete question. Where did you find such a nice dress? We start by noticing the word what, but there is no auxiliary verb like do for inversion, so we can tell that what is the subject of the sentence. The main verb for what is made because it carries tense. The other verbs, decide and buy, are in the infinitive form, so they cannot be the main verb. This gives us the initial structure, what made. Next, we look for the complement of made. The options are you, decide, and buy. This is a typical pattern 5 sentence, where we have an object and an object complement. Here, you is the object, and the complement is a verb in the infinitive form. We need to decide which verb functions as the object complement. If we chose buy, the sentence would be what made you buy, but this leaves decide unused. Instead, decide is the object complement, and to buy a new dress completes the infinitive phrase. Putting it all together, we get the full correct question. What made you decide to buy a new dress? When you first look at the jumbled words, you see several possibilities for the subject and verb: you, it, one, find, and take. Instead of checking every single grammatical combination, it's much faster to focus on the meaning first. You start by identifying the question phrase. How long? This is a fixed expression used to ask about duration. Because it's a WH question, you know it must come at the beginning of the sentence. To form the question properly, you apply inversion by adding the auxiliary verb did, giving you the starting base. How long did? Now you look at the remaining pool of words. You, to, write, it, one, find, take, the. Next, you narrow down your candidates. You have two main verbs, take and find.
It takes and you find make sense. To combine these two phrases, you need to know this fixed phrase. It takes someone how much time to do something. For example, it takes me 20 minutes to finish the work. Grammar, everyone. In this sentence, the verb take is used to make sentence pattern 4, which requires two objects. Here, me is the indirect object and 20 minutes is the direct object. It is called a dummy subject, and the actual subject is the to infinitive, that is, to finish the work. Let's plug it takes and you find into the fixed phrase, it takes someone how much time to do something. The direct object has to be a how long phrase. Although how long looks like a modifier phrase, it serves as an object in this case because it means duration. Grammarians say how long is shorthand for the noun phrase how long a time. Enough grammar. Going back to our sentence building, we have this. It takes you how long to find? Find what? It should be the dress. The remaining words are right, one, and the. So the correct phrase is the right one. So we get, it takes you how long to find the right one? As we did at the beginning, this is a what word question, so how long moves to the front with inversion using did. Therefore, we have, how long did it take you to find the right one?
We notice the words what and kind along with dress, so we can tell that the question is asking what kind of dress. Next, we see did and you, which tells us we need inversion for a WH question, and the subject is you. This gives us what kind of dress did you? The main verb should be buy, but in the given words we have buying in the ing form. The only other verb is end, and end up is a fixed expression meaning finally do something. In this construction, up requires an object, which is buying. Putting all the pieces together, we get the complete question, what kind of dress did you end up buying?
Question 6. Do, wear, dress, you, think, can, I, buy, beautiful, such. There are many subject candidates, dress, you, and I, so we can expect two clauses. We see wear and do, and also think, so let's begin with the usual suspect, do you think? The remaining words are wear, dress, can, I, buy, beautiful, such, To find the main idea, choose subject candidates, a verb, and possible complements. Here we see I buy dress. With where, we can expect a question like, where can I buy a dress? Now we look at the descriptive words. What type of dress? Such a is a fixed expression that needs a noun, such a dress. Beautiful can modify dress, so we have such a beautiful dress. So the question beginning with where is, where can I buy such a beautiful dress? Now we combine this question with do you think? Because of think, Where moves to the front, and the noun clause follows normal statement order. So we have, where do you think I can buy such a beautiful dress? Question 7. Do, where, it, the, address, you, the, bought, of, store. We see remember and bought, two verbs, so most likely we have two clauses. We immediately see the usual suspect phrase, do you remember? Now let's find the remaining words, where, it, the address, you, the, bought, of, store. Let's group related words together, the address of the store. At first, we might think there is a noun clause led by where, like where you bought it being the dress. But we still have the address of the store remaining, so where cannot lead the noun clause. Instead, we can use the address of the store as the object of remember, giving us, do you remember the address of the store? In this structure, the where clause becomes a relative adverb clause modifying store. So the final sentence is, do you remember the address of the store where you bought it? There are many fixed clues we have discussed in several past videos. One of them is how much. Whenever you see how with many or much, they go together as a fixed expression. Also, when you see tell, suspect whether it is the usual expression used for polite requests. Can you tell me? The verb tell requires sentence pattern 4, which needs both a direct object and an indirect object. Me is the indirect object, and we need a direct object, which is often in the form of a noun clause. Let's take stock of the remaining words, dress, was, the, and how much. So the noun clause should be, the dress was how much. Now we have two clauses. Can you tell me? The dress was how much. Next, we need to join the two clauses by moving how much, since it is a WH word. There are two possibilities. Should the WH word come at the beginning, or should it stay embedded? How much can you tell me the dress was? Or, can you tell me how much the dress was? Which one is correct? If you don't know the answer, you should watch the previous videos where we discuss this very question using the words know and think. If the question is asking for yes or no, how much does not move to the front. If the question is asking for the actual price, then it does move. Here, the question is a yes-no question because it is phrased as, can you tell me or not? Therefore, the sentence should not begin with how much. Instead, how much should come at the beginning of the noun clause. Also, in a noun clause, the subject and verb stay in normal order. How much the dress was. Putting can you tell me together with the noun clause, we have the final answer. Can you tell me how much the dress was? Question 9. There are how and much, so we have how much. The main verb is pay, and the subject performing the action is you, so we have you pay how much. The sentence is complete and no other essential sentence elements are needed. The remaining words are new, for, the, dress. So it has to be for the new dress as a modifying phrase. So we have you pay how much for the new dress. This is a question, so move how much to the front and use inversion. Therefore, we get, how much did you pay for the new dress? Question 10. We see some usual suspects like why and you, think and did, which can make did you think. Let's take stock of the remaining words. Buy, needed, a, dress, new, to, you. A new dress should go together, and needed to buy should also go together. The subject should be you, so we have you needed to buy a new dress. Why should modify the verb phrase needed to buy, so we have you needed to buy a new dress, why. Now that we have the clause ready, let's combine it with do you think. Like the previous question, should why go at the beginning, or should it be embedded in the noun clause? Because of the verb think, why has to go to the front of the sentence. So we have, why did you think you needed to buy a new dress? Okay, that's a wrap for today. Question 4 was the most challenging one among the 10 because to answer it, you need to know the advanced fixed expression, it takes someone how much time to do something. Make sure you go back to that question and review it until you can do it easily. Thank you for studying every day and for showing up. As Woody Allen once said, 80% of success is showing up. Keep showing up, keep practicing, and you'll keep getting better. See you in the next lesson.